Have you guys ever wondered how to make a t-shirt from start to finish? Well, I stumbled across this Balenciaga t-shirt that costs a lot of money and I thought, yeah, I can make that. So that's exactly what I did. I got myself some 100% cotton fabric, some cotton ribbon, some cotton tape, one of my labels, and some polyester thread. So in total, this t-shirt took me 1 hour and 15 minutes to complete. Now, before I get into it, what I really liked about this cut of t-shirt is that it's quite a boxy shape. And most times I wear quite fitted garments, but sometimes when I'm in the studio, at work, I like to be quite free. So I thought, let me give it a go, making this boxy shape t-shirt inspired by Balenciaga. So the fabric is 100% cotton, and I got it from this great supplier in Leicester called Discovery Knitting. I got the cotton ribbon from the same place, and the cotton neck tape I got from a great supplier called London Trimmings. And of course, I'm going to use one of my labels in the garment just to sign it off. Now, the machines I used was a straight stitch industrial, a full thread overlocker, and a cover stitch machine, as well as an iron. All of the machines I used, you can get their domestic equivalent for a great price, either online or in store. So the first stage was once I'd taken out my fabric and I'd rolled it out, cut what I needed, which was approximately 1.2 meters for a t-shirt, I had to do a process of shrinkage. So to manually shrink the fabric myself, I had to use a lot of steam from the iron and a suction board, which removes a lot of the vapors already in the fabric from ironing. So I'd already created a block pattern of what I thought was the correct cut for this Balenciaga t-shirt. So I laid out my pattern and started cutting. I'd say cutting time took me about 10 to 15 minutes in total. So when I make t-shirts, the first thing that I start off with is the shoulders. I use what's called Framelon, which is this clear rubber, and you overlock that into the seam. And what that does is it provides strength to the shoulder seam so that when it stretches, either through use or in a wash, it always snaps back to its original shape. So that's a sign of a quality t-shirt. Next, I jumped onto the straight stitch machine to close my collar ribbing. And then once I'd closed the collar ribbon, I did a small holding stitch to attach the join of the collar to the neckline of the left-hand side seam, which at a later point, I'm going to overlock the collar to the body of the t-shirt. One thing to remember when overlocking your collar onto your t-shirt is that you might need to stretch the collar just a little bit, because the point of ribbing is that it's meant to be cut smaller than the neckline of the body. This means that when you've overlocked your collar onto the body, you probably want to give it a gentle steam just so that the fabric relaxes. The next thing I did was I got my collar tape, and what you find with well-made t-shirts is that there is a tape that's at the back neck only. And what that does long-term is that it helps to reduce the stretching of the collar. So the first stage is doing an edge stitch, attaching the collar to the back neck of the t-shirt. And the second stage is closing the collar tape. And if you want, like I've done, I've inserted one of my labels in the center back. So the next stage was sewing on my sleeve, and the way I'm constructing this t-shirt, guys, is very similar to the way that they would do in a factory. And I know that because I own a factory. So considering I made this t-shirt quite quickly, I really took my time. I started off with the left-hand sleeve, and then I did the right side sleeve. I have to confess, it took me a couple times to do the sleeve. And if you guys have watched my previous video where I'm making the Moncler replica jacket, that link is popping up now, you would know that I took probably 3 goes to attach the sleeve on this very jacket. So anyway, once I'd attached the sleeves onto the body, I gave it a press, and then I folded the hem of the sleeve in by 1 inch. And you're going to find out why later in the video. So now both my sleeves are on, I've pressed my hems, I then overlocked the whole side seam down in one go on both sides. So the final stage of making my t-shirt was using a cover stitch machine, which is basically to finish off the hems, and that gives it a twin needle finish at the top and then a decorative wrap stitch on the underneath of the hem. Now this can be a very difficult machine to use, but if you take your time and you follow the guides on the machine, you'll get this perfect. So guys, let me know what you think of this t-shirt that I've been inspired by, the Balenciaga original coming up now. And then this is the image of me in the t-shirt What do you think of the comparison? I hope that you found this video to be a really useful tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Feel free to put in the comments your feedback and also what you'd like me to do a tutorial on next.